Hello everyone. In this session, I'm going to show you how to deploy Azure AI Foundry in Azure UI portal, and then how to install the Azure AI Foundry SDK on local environment in Visual Studio Code and how to use it on your environment. So let's get started. For deploying an Azure AI Foundry, you need an active subscription in the resource group. Now, I already have one here. This is our resource group, and you have to go here to create, search in the marketplace for Azure AI Foundry, and this is the service that we need, and click create. And the next step, we have to give it a name. It has to be unique. Foundry Tech. We have to choose a region. We'll leave it like this for now, and we have to provide a name for our project. I'll also leave it like this. In the network session, this is where you can integrate Azure AI Foundry with your virtual network. This is very important if you want to do it in production. I encourage you to disable public network and use private endpoints for this service. For our demo, we'll leave it like this. The next step, system assign identity. It's fine for us. Then encryption, no encryption for this demo, tags, and review and submit. You will be able to click create after the validation is done. So you click here create. Now this will take some time, but for our demo, I already have one here deployed. So if you go inside and go to Azure AI Foundry portal, it will take you to the overview. So in this overview, the most important thing is the API key and this Azure AI Foundry project endpoint. This is something that we are going to use also later when we are going to use the SDK. You can also define here Azure Open AI and AI services, so the cognitive services. We're going to stick for our demo with this endpoint. Now you can do a lot of things here, including developing agents. It is a good idea just to try a little bit the playground to see if everything is working. Create new model here from base models. This will open a window where you can select the models that are available to you. For this demo, we're going to use the Grok Mini. You can just select it and click confirm. Now I already have here the Grok Mini deployment. You can also set up some other parameters like temperature for less hallucination. We are just going to leave it like this. And to test it, we can use this sample prompt. Check here what is the capital of France. This is the chain of thought. So you can see here how he come up with the answer in the end. And this is the answer what he returned. In the next step, we are going to use the Azure AI Foundry SDK. So why would you want to have the SDK installed locally? Now the Azure AI Foundry UI is good and it's enough if you want to prototype something for a POC, or you want to show people that the solution is working and you need to have something fast. But for production environments where you want to collaborate with other people and you want to deploy it locally, develop locally, and then deploy it into the cloud, you want to have this kind of setup with SDK, with ID, Visual Studio Code in this scenario, where you are able to version your code or push it first to Git, you need to be more closer to a production environment setup. And this is where the SDK comes also into place. So in order to use the SDK, you have to install Azure CLI. You have to install Azure CLI locally, and you have to connect to your Azure account. You can use this command here, az login, then you give the tenant ID and then the device code. The device code is the method how you are going to connect. If I run this one, it will return this code, and you have to open this link and enter the code in this link. Now, going back to your Studio Code, the login was successfully, so you can see now which subscription are active and available to you. This is the only one that we have, and in the next step you have to choose the subscription that you want to use it for Azure AI Foundry. We are going to enter here one because we have here only one. This is the number one. Right, so now we are logged in, and in order to use the SDK, you have to install a couple of libraries. You can do this by using pip install. So the first one is azure-ai-projects and azure-identity. You can add here also OpenAI if you want, and this will install the dependency on your local code. I already done this on my computer, my environment, and I prepared the code, small Python code that is just using these libraries, Azure-ai-projects and Azure-identity. It is important here to mention that it is using default Azure credential. This means that after you log in successfully with Azure CLI, you remember the credential that you use it there. Next, in this paragraph, we are going to define our project. This is where the Azure AI Foundry endpoint has to be introduced. This is something that we have it here in the overview. It is exactly this endpoint. And then next step, we are going to provide project API version, the OpenAI client version, and we are going to build our response with chat completion. And here we are going to pass the model that we deploy Grok 3 Mini. In the message, it's a very simple message, system prompt, you are a helpful writing assistant, and in the user, just writing a short poem about flowers. So this is what we are going to run. In order to run this, you have to go here and run it. I run it in interactive mode, and this should return the answer. It will take some time, but in the meantime, very interesting, you might want to use this extension, Azure AI Foundry. This extension will bring you closer to the UI version also. So you can see here that when you select this Azure AI Foundry extension, you will have access to your project. You have access to your models. You can even go here and edit the model from this extension. You don't need to go to UI for this step, for example. I think this is a useful extension overall. This brings the experience in Visual Studio Code more closer. And this is our point. Thank you very much, and looking forward to meet you in the next section.